Good evening, everyone. I know it's quite late in the night, but I thought I'd say a little something anyways. So, I wanted to talk about America. I hate it. I hate it. That's why do I say this? Well, America is different from other countries in the sense that, and this makes America completely unique and original, is the fact that unlike all other countries, America isn't just a piece of land. It's also an idea, a terrible idea. That idea is awful. So, I would like to read to you a quote from Richard Spencer. When I look at Thomas Jefferson's writings, the Declaration of Independence, it makes me want to vomit. The idea that a creator made all human beings equal, that's ridiculous. The idea that we would dedicate ourselves to something as stupid as equality or democracy is morally insulting to me. So, I should be clear in the sense that I denounce a lot of Richard Spencer's talking points and positions. So he believes that America should be a white ethno state. I don't think it has to be a white ethno state as long as we can make sure white people are the majority and there's lots of us. That's good enough. And he also said we should peacefully ethnically cleanse minorities. Obviously, that's not a good thing to say. Um, Of course, I denounce ethnically cleansing people, obviously, but but even though there's a lot of things about him I don't like, this is a very base quote. So when we look at the Constitution, I find the idea that anyone would be so pathetic that they would waste valuable time fighting for ideas so stupid and meaningless as equality, democracy, capitalism, and freedom to be, it just makes me feel sick to my stomach. And I know a lot of my fellow Trump supporters are going to say I shouldn't say the part about freedom, but here's the thing. I don't believe there should be rights for homosexuals. I don't think there should be rights for women. I don't think there should be rights for social Marxist globalists. What about Aryan men? Well, I don't. I think it should be illegal for them to dress in drag. I think it should be illegal for them to do kinky, degenerate sexual acts like look at pornography, masturbate, engage in sodomy, even if it's heterosexual within the bounds of marriage, even if it's conjugal heterosexual sodomy, it's still a sin. Um, I think it should be illegal for him to criticize my ideas in my ideal world. And so, even if that person was free, then could you really consider it a free country if all these minorities and women don't have freedom? But if we do consider that free, if as long as this group of Aryan men has freedom, then they're sure missing a lot of freedoms and rights. So I don't think it's unfair to describe my ideology as anti-freedom. Um, so much of the Constitution is just gross. Uh, we need a separation of church and state. Awful. Um, all men are created equal. Stupid. Completely stupid. What were they implying there? That the like, white men and black men are created equal? Of course not. That uh, able men and disabled men are created equal? No, of course not. Uh, Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I I think the founding fathers stood up against imperialism, colonialism, um, theocracy, autocracy, uh, dictatorship, and for that they should be ashamed of themselves. And anyways, the America was founded on the principles of classical liberalism, which is an ideology I hate. I hate classical liberalism so much. That ideology was based off of the Great Enlightenment, which is a historical moment that should have never happened. Gee, I'm wondering if I can get a better camera angle. Sorry for the unprofessionalism, but um, here. Let me know in the comment section if you think this looks better than how I had the camera angled earlier. But going back to my point, and the truth is, so this idea, all men are created equal, it's obviously a stupid idea. It's very clearly a stupid idea. But how could someone believe in something so stupid and ridiculous? Well, they didn't. They were doing it for financial gain because they were accepting bribes. And who whispered all men are created equal into their ears? Someone with a big nose and a little hat. The founding fathers were Jewish puppets. They were Shabbos Goy race traders. America is a Jewish puppet state. It has always been a Jewish puppet state, and it was a Jewish puppet state in 1776. It has been run by Jews ever since its founding, and it hasn't been ever not run by Jews. Always has, ever will. Sorry. Always has, always will. So, what should we do with this? We should get rid of America and replace it with a authoritarian, totalitarian state. Very easy, very simple. And this new state will be an autocracy, it will be a theocracy, and it will embrace imperialism and colonialism and everything the founding fathers fought against. In addition to hating the American idea, I also hate much of America's ideas. So perhaps this is a unpopular opinion, but I don't think America should have fought against the Nazis during World War II. I don't think we should have killed Nazis during World War II. That was wrong. We shouldn't have done that. This is probably going to make a lot of people angry, and I understand if you disagree, but that's what I think. I think that was a poor choice. I think that was the wrong choice, the wrong call. It was happening all across the world, over an entire ocean in Europe, not in our soil. So why should have America and Germany fought with each other? I understand that Hitler declared war on America, and that's why the fighting started, but that shouldn't have happened. America and Germany should have kept each other's noses out of each other's businesses. And I think Germany should have ignored the sterilization of Indians, just as America should have ignored the Holocaust. I don't know. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. I feel I'm going to get canceled one of these days, aren't I? So we have some quite bad news, economically speaking. America's economy is getting better. It was doing absolutely awful for a long time, but it's getting better. More people are uh, being paid enough money to survive, and that's awful. I badly hope that another recession happens. I badly hope that the Great Depression too will happen, because if so, uh, not only will it harm a country I hate, but it will give the American people something to fight for. You will make the American people stand up and uh, give it to America. And this is, I think, the quite awful economic system America is part of the reason I've become based and red pilled, or at least I become openly based and red pilled, because my parents would sometimes tell me, oh, you shouldn't be putting this stuff out on the internet with your face. You'll never get into a respectable college. You'll never get a respectable job. And it's just like, why? Why should I care about that? Right now, I would have to work like 20 years just to rent an apartment or rent a house. And that's after getting a really fancy college degree. Um, so, so what? I'm going to go through 20 years just so I can rent things. I can't even own things. In the current state the economy is in, do you really think I'll be able to live this idealistic 1950s America? Oh, I'll have a nice stay at home wife so I can come home to home cooked meals and I'll have multiple kids. No, with the current wages, you're not going to have families of five or six that are single income families that can afford a house in the suburbs and two cars and uh, all this stuff like they had in the 50s. It's just not possible anymore for the vast majority of American people. So why wouldn't I get myself canceled for saying what I believe in? It's not like getting myself making myself unemployable and is going to strip me of a beautiful life, because there's no beautiful life to have at the moment. Until America is radically changed, there is no beautiful life to be fighting for. I, when I say politically incorrect things online, I'm not stripping myself of living a beautiful nuclear family lifestyle. I'm stripping myself of working uh, 20 years at a job I hate to get an apartment and then not have enough money to afford to um, give my children a good lifestyle. It's totally awful. And this is why I decided to do this stuff, to do stuff that no dean is going to want to let someone into their college for, because I've made my mind up. I'm not going to fight as a conservative. I don't want to get a nice white collar job that makes lots of money. I don't want to have a trendy, cool, hip lifestyle. I don't want to be part of a nuclear family in the suburbs. I want total Aryan victory. I think we should make it so that life is, unlike it is now, accessible to white people. It definitely should be that way. That's one of the few ways we can get the birth rate up high and good. But like how anywhere close to how high it is among browns and blacks. But yeah, I have bigger fish to fry, I guess you could say. I don't know how many of you have seen that video where it's like breaking down the minds of history's greatest leaders, but they put greatest in quotation marks. And I remember one of them, it was like, well, back then everyone was conquering each other and taking over the world and fighting in these awesome wars that were so masculine. But now things aren't really like that way. One of the reasons for this is because we now have women who are leading countries. And it's like, well, then why are we letting women lead countries? We had these awesome wars and these big empires back in the good old days. The Soviet Union was this big, powerful country. America was this big, powerful country. Nazi Germany was fighting for them. Japan was trying to take over the world. It was this awesome war that everyone wanted to be a part of and everyone wanted to fight in. And all these men were dying honorable, respectable deaths. And now the world is, at least in the West, reduced to nothing more than filth and degeneracy. So, yeah, women shouldn't have power. Women shouldn't have opinions. I remember I watched a video about, it was like one of these, it was a TikTok. It was one of the most like cucked SJWs. Maybe SJW is a dated, anachronistic insult, but they were saying, oh, well, the Republicans want to make the Handmaid's Tale real, but this is actually not going to be that bad for white women. It's actually going to be really bad for women of color because in that case, there won't be any like non-white senators. It will all be white senators. And even though women will be in the kitchen, the white senators will listen to their white wives. So white women will have some power in politics, but the women of color won't have any. So it will actually be the only people that will really suffer are women of color. You white women will still have lots of power. You know, like the stupidest thing you could imagine. And that got me thinking, if that's true, then we need to make sure that in our new society, the white women don't have a say in how things are working. Because if the 21st century is an example, or the 21st century West at least, is an example of what happens when you let women have a say in things, then we need to do everything to make sure women have as least amount of say in things as possible. So, maybe we should have in our new society the white women lobotomized so then they can't think. They'll just be completely brain dead zombies. So they won't be able to speak to their husbands or think, but we can do it in a way that their bodies still are able to birth white children. That would be a true utopia. I am of course just joking. Obviously. That would be a utopia in Minecraft. Let's see, how long has it been on for? Looks like a little bit under 20 minutes. Well, maybe it's pretty late in the day, pretty late at night. So maybe I should call it good for today, and I think I can try to get something out to you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get something out to you tomorrow. But anyways, good night. Sleep well.